All right. This is Jam Boom Boom, the world premiere, the biggest boom. And I am utilizing whiteboards, new whiteboard. Yeah, switching it up today and utilizing whiteboard in continuation for the big boom theory. So, in taking into consideration the work that was done last week and taking some time to reflect over the weekend, understanding what this step-by-step process is of creating, let me just erase that. I'm touching things. I'm going to just let it go. It's touch screen. Leave that alone. So understanding what is the step-by-step process for bringing a new idea to life, to something that can be enjoyed or seen by another person, an audience, yourself, bringing an idea to life and using this new concept of the big house and using this methodology, step-by-step process. All right, so week one, I titled it Aries Week, First House Week, the birth of a new idea. And so really not holding myself back as far as, let me type this in. Look, hold on. I can type. Okay, so, so the big, no spaces. Let me make this wider. I think most of this video is just gonna be me like messing around with another one. Where's the cursor? You know what? The big boom, period. So week one, calling it Aries week, this idea, a new idea, the birth of a new idea, the birth of a new creativity, and the methods used, known, unknown, and to be known. We also had compiling online research, and then introducing the idea and the concepts behind mythologizing, symbology, allegories, personification, anthropomorphism, and in all, memory recollection. So this being the foundations that we use to birth a new idea. Understanding some methodologies as far as, online compilation of research, but then also some internal work. So that being external, this also some internal work. Being able to look through yourself into your memory, your life. Let me be typing this down. Hold up, we're gonna get there. This is also a praxis for me to integrate a lot of different teaching methods into one. So this idea of internal versus external. I like this. This could end up being like a little like mind map thing. Let's go. Okay, internal versus external kind of memory. What happened? No, see, look, this is not supposed to be a comedy. That's not what this is going to. No way, Jose. Oh, now you playing with me. You know what? We're going back to this. So how about this? Memory recollection. So that being one of the, just honestly sitting back, this being an internal process, sitting back, those memories that created your identity. I'll put that here. That's a huge one. Identity. What created your identity, whether for better or for worse, and worse being trauma and traumatic events and traumatic episodes, which collectively we are now coming to an understanding as far as acceptance and the introduction of mental health awareness and talks of that nature, understanding that from a creative aspect, using these things to create from, to learn from, and to grow from, to then create our stories. And so I think I can go back and just erase everything okay, cool. So memory recollection being one of the biggest ones. Compiling all of that together, and now this week, the second week, which I'm calling Taurus week, this idea of understanding a couple of things. So there are a couple of goals this week that we'll be tackling. So let me make this smaller. And so those goals I had were The world, my handwriting, world of the play. We had structure, as in plot. We'll go over that. I'll figure that out. And then character work. And so this is week 2. So honestly, in a step-by-step process, and this can be macro-sized or micro-sized, meaning this can take up to 12 weeks to complete a project, or it can take 12 hours. Say that you have an entire day on the weekend that you can get this done. But really not rushing into things. Let's say that you're watching this and you don't have 12 hours out of the day to complete a project from beginning to end. Really fleshing this out week by week. Setting goals and clear intentions, obviously, right? But also allowing the week to just flow so that you are open to receiving new ideas. And this goes into how are you spending your minutes, seconds, and hours? How are you fixating your day? Are you stressed out? Are you allowing yourself to be open to new inspirations and new ideas? So grounding ourselves first in the idea that this is going to be a multi-week process. And fleshing that out week by week. So week 1, we have that cardinal fire. We have that new idea, starting of a new idea. All right, week 2, we want to ground ourselves, not only internally, but with our goals. And so with week 2, I'll be going over what is the world of the play. And that's what's going to be this video today. So what is the world of the play? And I'll use some of my personal anecdotes. We'll go into the structure of the play, and then I'll introduce how I've gone about structuring my plays, at least the last 2 plays, the Institute Pursuit and the Jaguar, and then we'll go into character work. And all of this will lead to, well, jam, boom, boom. Where is this leading to? This is leading to week 3. Because it's like we actually haven't done any work as far as putting pen to pad. This will lead to week 3 where we actually start to draft. So again, you can speed through this process. If you are the type of individual, and I'm gonna talk and erase at the same time. Oh, you can do the whole, okay, I was thinking that, let's go. You can erase the whole thing, let's go. Shout out to Zoom. It's gone? The whole thing gone. So say you are the person like, man, I don't need to, I can, boom, 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 boom. You can get it all done. Good for you. And I ain't gonna knock you. But really, really taking that time to flesh out what these things are. Like I said, you can speed right through this process. Maybe you're the type of individual who does not need this process, but not being sure exactly where your idea is going to go, as in me not knowing exactly what the final product of this audio play is going to be. I just have the idea. So using my idea as the clay that's going to be molded into the final product of this course, the Big Boom Theory. So let's get into it, y'all. I want to start with, so when I'd say world, let me go back. Let's see if this text box works. And if I can finagle it, go back. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this text box. It is not doing the things. Copy, paste, bring to front, send to back. Yeah, every time I'm speaking as if like me talking is going to do something about it. But even if I do this, I want it to be wider. Oh, no. All right. Pardon me and all of my technical mishaps. That's going to be partly what this video is about, so I do apologize. But let's just get into what I know, and what I know is just handwriting things. So let's make it black and white starting off. So let's get into it. We're about 9 minutes in. Okay. So I'm talking a lot about this. What do I mean by world of the play? And take the word play out again for the clay. For this project, I'm using what I know. I'm using my medium, and that's theater, drama, plays. So you can replace this word with any art, any idea, anything, etc. You feel me? So you can replace the word play. So what is the world of the visual art? What is the world of starting a new diet? What is the world of changing a lifestyle habit? What is the world? Jam, what are you talking about? Like you keep saying world. Like what are you getting at? So let's think about the word world. So let's take it out of the context of us creating and being awesome and incredible creators. So the world. What is the world? We can think of got the whole world. And got the whole world. We can think about the geocentric model of planet Earth. We can think about that, right? We got the world here, right? Here go the continents. Here go there goes our world. So it's what we're inside of. Not this is a man's world, not the white man's world. No, not Wayne's world. No, let's very much just think of the world that we're all embodying, where we are. And so by world, I mean atmosphere. So let me erase a couple things. So the world of the play, think of the atmosphere. Atmosphere. Think of the weather. Think of what's allowed inside of this world. Think of what's not allowed inside of this world. So let's think about the world that we all share right now. Let's think about this world. You can replace world with planet. You can replace world with atmosphere. But these are all definitive things. So the exploration of ages and centuries of human exploration and geographical exploration, there are certain limits. Back in the day, people thought that you could fall off the edge of the earth. There are certain places that you cannot go. As far as let's write some of these things down. I want to keep world of the play here, but let's say things. I'm still on the racer. Let's say things like temperature. And so let's not forget how when we went over last week about symbology and allegory, these apply here. So even when I say things like temperature, you're probably like, Jam, what are you talking about? Like the temperature, how hot or how cold the story is? No. Well, yes. But what does in our day-to-day dramatic lifestyle as the world turns story, what does something mean when something is too hot? Oh, you're hot-headed. Oh, you cold. Oh, cold as ice. We're all saying the same things and we're all meaning them. It's just the context, right? It's just what it symbolizes, what this word temperature symbolizes in the context of a story. Yeah. So having something represent something else when someone says, oh, you're cold as ice. We're not talking about them literally. We're talking about what? Figuratively. And this is what I'm referring to when I say temperature, right? So let's go back into the world. So you have atmosphere. You have, I'm going to erase some things. You have the temperature. I'm going to erase it now. Figurative language, don't forget. Don't forget. Let me get rid of my geocentric model. And let me get rid of this for now too. Temperature, atmosphere. My bad, y'all. Still learning. Please hold. You have the temperature, hot and cold. Ooh, it's hot. It can denote that there are a lot of hot-headed characters, or think of summertime. Oh, like that reminds me of seasons. What is the season that you're portraying this idea or this work of art? And that can very much inform how the characters move, what's going on as far as holidays within there. So yeah, that let's think of holidays. Let's think of the time of the day. Yeah, time. These are just what makes up a world. And this process and this act is really just if you can see me right now, I'm like kind of like bringing things down, raining, but I also thought of like a cow, like milking a cow, just kind of bringing down ideas and yeah, how it comes from the mental, from our mental space, and then down into this world, or from out of our mouths. So we can think of holidays. That also makes seasons is one of the biggest ones. I'll return to this one. Time, holidays, kind of, you want to think of rules. And instantly what I thought of was gravity. Gravity. Traditions. What are the traditions? So specifically, what are the traditions within the story? Is this a mythology about Christianity? So we already know that there's set up traditions that people follow, but perhaps this is a fiction, what you're writing, and you want to create a new religion, a new spiritual practice within this world. 9 times out of 10, it'll be a riff off of what has been created here in this world that we share. But in your fictional world, you want to create your own traditions. So what else happens in a world? Language. Language. Mm-hmm. Language happens. Communication is really huge. I want to write aesthetics because I'm thinking of how do people look? What is considered, and this can go into like rules as far as, oh, let me do a different color. It's gonna become second nature one of these days. You just watch. No, yellow. Yellow. Now I want orange. Rules, aesthetics, and morality. Now this kind of gets less about rules, because what I imagine rules being, you know, what to do and what not to do at a stop sign. And morality is more internal, more of our collective idea of what is considered right and wrong. And then how our morality in this world then informed our traditions, how we created the judicial, how the judicial system was created because of an agreed upon idea of morality that might have stemmed from, I want to put religion up here. So I instantly, and you know, this is what we do, but I was just an example of this just now. I instantly thinking of the world, thinking of what humans created within the world. But this all goes into play. What I wanted to lean towards was more of the nature of the world. So this is hopefully legible, looking like chicken scrap on my end, but these are ideas of the world of the play. So let me get rid of this and then get more specific. This will be a part intellectual. Any questions? But I can ask my own questions. So I'm thinking about being concise and honestly, you know, leaning towards my own understanding of what the world is. And of course, you know, there'll be a lot of different interpretations of the world of the play. People will use other different examples. This is what Boom uses. I want to use, you know, kind of common sense or the world that we know, so that when we come into the space of creating, it's not a foreign world, because we create every day. We create every day. It's just we're creating, you know, we might be creating some BS. We might be creating another person's world. But, you know, throughout the creation process, we start to become aware of our everyday isms and schisms and how we're 9 times out of 10 catering our creative gifts and talents to an institution so that we trade that process, which is said in the saying of, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, but figuratively, we trade our ability to create and come up with our own ideas to empower ourselves, and we give it to an institution or a system. But that's, again, throughout this creation process, we're realizing where these energies are going so that we can redirect them back to ourselves or back to the product that we create. So going back into the world, you want to find your limit. So let's say that this is the world right here, that this is the play. Okay, so we know what the play is, but what is the play not? Jan, what are you talking about? What is allowed? So this is kind of riffing off of that idea of rules. So how far, so going back to what I was talking about, there was a time when humans thought that you could fall off the face of the earth. So let's play on that. What is the face of the earth? Kind of figuratively. I like that, actually. Face of the earth. That could be, so what is the face of the earth here? How far can people go? Are there superheroes in your play? Can people just magically fly? Or do they have to become indoctrinated as far as learning about, indoctrinated in the way that mutants were indoctrinated in the X-Men series when they went to Professor X's school for gifted youngsters? Can you just become a great superhero, or do you have to go to school to learn how to control your powers? So this can get into mysticism. This can be a great determinant of the limit. How far can this world go that you're creating within the play? So mysticism, that can tie in with aliens too. Honestly, that's one of my biggest, because I wanted to aim towards getting 4, but that's one of my biggest ones. The what holds this world. I want to say knowledge here. Knowledge. What do people know that others don't know? You only know, and that reminds me of this idea, and I say this all the time, like local mentality, like say that you grow up in one place and you just stay there for whatever circumstances, whatever reason. There's a positive and a negative to that. You have a local mentality, quote unquote, and that could be perceived as, you don't need a GPS to know how to get from point A to B. Yeah, you go down, bang a left down. But I always wanted to be like those dudes, like, yeah, just bang a left down, and then you go down, straight down to. But if you go there, you got too far, so you got right there, you got bang a U-turn because they just built this new, something like that. But then on the negative of that is that you are seen as sheltered or small-minded, or say that someone from a different culture comes around and who has a whole different way of doing things, and you'll be the first, the quickest to judge things like that. So knowledge, let's say that mysticism, knowledge. What else could be the 4 corners of the play? What is allowed and what is not allowed? Knowledge, that reminds me of just knowing the ledge, knowing these places. Yeah, that can be our limits here. And so I'll leave this here to any limitations that we may have when it comes to the world of the play. Yeah, limitations. And I also want to say foreshadowing here. So kind of knowledge, but then foreshadow. And this can create an idea of suspense. You don't want to put too much in this first place. So say that you're creating a sequel. Say that this is a series. So what do you want to withhold? Mysticism, this also reminds me of a cult, that which is unseen knowledge. How much do people know versus how much do they want to know, and how much don't they know? Getting into limitations. These all act as limitations, and then foreshadowing here. I want to put something else right here, but yeah, I'm sort of drawing from another video that I created, but I was using a completely different method as far as the 4 corners and mysticism. Time. Is it linear? Is it circular? The time. Oh my gosh. The time. All right. So the faces, I'm going to call this the face of the earth. things that hold us in. Mysticism, magic, spirituality could tie into here. Religion could tie into here. Knowledge, that which is forbidden, that which is elite, that which is ignorant and unknown. And this can create the pursuit of science or the pursuit to better our world. Time. Oh my gosh. Time being one of the biggest, if you want to see it as a limitation or you want to see it as a gift, that can be one of the face of the earth. Knowing that we only have a certain amount of time, or, that was maybe leaning towards a negative connotation, but, we only have a certain amount of time. Like, oh, great. That means we can get it done ASAP. Let's get it done ASAP. And then this idea of foreshadowing does remind me of mysticism in and of itself. It does remind me of mysticism in and of itself. Because it's that same idea of what is unknown and what is to be known. Yeah. I like that though. For what it is. Mysticism, knowledge, time. I'm trying to think of other limitations that we set or parameters that we set. Something else that's coming to mind is form. As in this human body or corporealism, the form. Yeah, the form, because it could be a play or it could be a poem, like literally the form. Yeah, boom, face of the earth. So, what is allowed in this world? Let's get into rules. Rules. So now that we have the four corners, what's this? Oh, that's highlighter? Wait, what is that? What's the difference? Oh yeah, it's highlighter. All right, more technical mishappies. Let's go back. All right. Time. Form. Let's make another color for this, for our subcategories. So this can be beliefs. Spirit, as in spirituality. Knowledge can play as science. And systems. Whoa, did I just, how'd I do that? Oh, wait a second. What? No way. Oh man, I've been deleting. Damn, I'm learning though. I'm learning as I'm going, y'all. Damn. Time. All right, let's go back then. Forget it. But this can be like one giant, like, what? Hey, yo, I'm mad, but hey, I'm learning. Okay. Time. This can go into seasons. I want to say work for or against. And then form, as in style, vessels, style of like the medium, whether that be a painting or a play, vessels, whether that be human bodies, animal bodies, planetary bodies, star bodies. These are the four corners. So let me then now, because I can go like this. Wait, I thought I could. No, make it small. Yes! So, this is so cool. All right. So now I can get into the big house here. So let's put the big house, and I am purposefully underlining these three things because when I sat back and was deriving symbology for myself off the camera, I found a number within the big house here, and 103. So we'll talk more about that later. So what is the mysticism of the big house? Belief in spirituality. As the creator and on a personal note, I'm shying away from a specific system because the central character, Jam, who takes on a lot of different names, Jamal, Jam Boom Boom, later it'll be a lot of different characters. The entire point of the Lost Dogs Chase Tales series is that this character is finding that. I'm gonna stick with the word finding because he is at a lack of his own belief system or spiritual system, for better or for worse, because he denied a system that he grew up to believe. And now is in pursuit of what works and what doesn't. So it's a very much like trial and error. He knows what he doesn't know is kind of where he's coming from for that, when it comes to the mysticism of the world. Now, again, speaking from the creator's perspective of this play, there are going to be a lot of instances where there is supernatural occurrences. And so to play on that for myself, so let me take it out of the fictional world for myself, when it comes to spirituality and when it comes to understanding the unknown or attempting to, there is a struggle and there is a dissonance as far as, okay, I'm thinking, there needs to be definitive proof, at least written down in a book or commonly said, but realizing that everything in the world that was written in a book or that's commonly held to be true is just not that. It is very much fan fiction. So really, for myself and using my plays to be vulnerable and to be real with myself. Oh my God! And just saying vulnerable and real, I just found a marker. Y'all, let's go. Okay, yeah, just use the pen. Let's go. Close. And I can still use it. Let that whole damn woman. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Come on, right there. See, and again, using that idea that when I am honest, brutally honest as far as, like, oh man, I want to give it up to the spirit world. I want to, but like that idea, like God give me a sign. And so that is a common belief throughout the Lost Dogs Chase Tales, that the Jam or the central character, the Jam character, puts himself in this place of being open to receiving new information that will better himself, expand his awareness, allow himself to change, allow himself to shed from mentalities or behaviors that doesn't work for him, and then to be surprised, to find that boom, to find that like, whoa, so that he can essentially believe, he can essentially embody, he can essentially change himself, all of those things. So there is no set mysticism, but there is kind of like an open to spirituality. So I'll say that. I'll just say that as a holder right now. Openness to spirituality. Oh, that's chicken scratch. That's worse than my finger, but hey. Knowledge. So, in jumping into the Lost Dogs Chase Tales and out, obviously I'm poking fun at myself, pursuing a theater degree or pursuing higher education and theater. So knowledge is that idea of fine arts and systems, but also, and I can play on this or riff on this too, like common sense, like common sense ain't common, or what is held as common sense to one person is not necessarily the common sense to another. So poking fun at that which is kind of like a collective understanding, and wanting to kind of challenge the status quo, in terms of collectivism and what works when we all come together. But clearly there's something that's not working when it comes to when we put our noggins together. And that's going to be in the big house. That is going to be a huge talking point for the waiter in Jam. Through their dialogue and through their shared experiences, they're going to realize, hey, this doesn't work, either through butting heads, either through telling each other an anecdote. It doesn't work. All right, let's move on to time. So this all takes place in one night. So I can say, all right, this all take place at one night. Again, why I highlighted these numbers or put numbers inside of the title. Not to say that the play will start at 1:03, but there will be references to 1:03, as in 1:03 a.m., as in table number 1:03. This isn't time, or this isn't specifically like table 1:03, but this is time. So this takes place in one night, maybe the course of the night. Let's say like 9 hours, perhaps, or 1 hour. I'm open. And then the form. So obviously a play. The vessels, they are humane. Playing more with form. Playing more with form. I want to say dialogue driven. Form also is genre. So styles, obviously, but genre. So I want this to be comedy, and then kind of like drama as in dramatic, like dramatic comedy. Because there are some striking moments. Oh, this is Chicken Scratch. Look, if y'all are tuning in, make sure y'all just listen. Make sure y'all listen, because this ain't it. But we gonna move on, right? Nah, we are gonna move on. So thinking, let's recap. We can move over here. Can I? Baby, I'm only at 25%. All right. So let's look at this world. Let's look at rules next. Oh man, I erased it, but I'm mad because now I'm thinking of what is allowed and what is not allowed. Not allowed. Random superpowers. Allowed. Running the stoplight. Again, this is just, well, not again, because I'm saying it for the first time. Running the stoplight. So these are examples of rules. So let's move it over here. Rules. Let's think of environment. That's another topic. Tropical, dry. The big house takes place in a seafood restaurant. Well, actually, that's more setting. So the difference between environment and setting, in the environment holds, that's erase. The environment holds the setting. So think of the environment as Earth. The environment is Earth with all its water, the geocentric model. There go the states, there go Africa, there go Europe. And the setting is, well, we said it. The setting is Africa. The environment, or if you want to get more specific, we can say, because Africa can then turn into the environment. And the setting is Cape Town. Or You can say, and it can get smaller and smaller and smaller in a micro. And the Cape Town is the environment, and the setting is this street. You see, it can get, but the environment is what contains the setting. Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Oh, I just went super zoomed in. We're back. Yeah, so for the big house, the environment is Baltimore. Ooh, what season? Baltimore in spring. Yes. What is it? That's not hurricane season. Is it monsoon season? No, it's just when spring comes, like spring, April showers season. And then the setting is seafood restaurant. Yay. Oh, chicken scratched out. Yeah. Yeah. So this is let me zoom out. I'm having a moment. I'm taking it all in. Pause. Like, as far as back up. That's as far as it can back up. Okay. Yeah, rules. Our four corners here. Thinking of the big house specifically. Really wishing I might just erase this for now. Yeah. So how can this transfer over into any medium, right? So knowing your limits, we work in, hold on, pause. Let me get some water. Grab some water. We think so much about what's allowed, what's not allowed, and what I'm saying is limitations as in restrictions as in what holds us. But think about it, like, thank God there's certain limitations. Thank God we don't think about certain things throughout the day. We wouldn't be able to maintain ourselves. We wouldn't be able to carry ourselves if we had certain things on our minds. As in having a limit as to what I would think about today, whether that's going to stop you from being productive in that day, or put you in a mood, set you in certain emotions, as in a memory that you don't want to remember. That's what I mean by that. And holding on to our belief system, whether you're in the process of shedding that belief system, doing shadow work as far as wanting to understand any limitations that you set on yourself. So hearkening to a belief system, spirituality, or religion, certain things that you know and that you don't know. And then knowledge can also be, because now that but I'm not going to add anything else. But the example that I was using before, just what stays on our mind as far as our thoughts and our feelings. The time, you don't, and nowadays everyone does things at a certain time, but let's say someone who works from a 9 to 5, they're not going to get up at 1 a.m. to go work out. You're not going to go skiing in the middle of June in the Appalachian Mountains. There's a time and there's a place for certain things. So how can your idea or your art or your creative idea work with time? And then what form is it going to be in? What is the form? What I wanted to say is accepting that form, whether, I did get a little meta when it came to vessels and the human form, right? But I'm erasing. Go back. Oops. As far as the vessel as in the human form, but then what style are we married to? Are we accepting? Are we going full force with? What genre are we within? So this becomes the four corners of your world, and rules. What is allowed? What is not allowed in this play? What do you want to touch on? What don't you want to touch on? Maybe in terms of foreshadowing, which I mentioned earlier. Maybe you want to withhold some information. And then what is the environment and the setting that you're holding your story within? And setting a very clear intention beforehand, things could, things could change while you're drafting. Just because I'm having the environment be Baltimore and the setting be a seafood restaurant doesn't mean that one of the doors can open up and go into that little Monsters Inc. closet. That doesn't mean, but having establishing a strong setting so that wherever when we do start to draft next week, we have a foundation that we can always go back to, and that I want to say the word married to, and I was kind of avoiding saying that earlier, but yeah, that we want to marry, that we want to commit, that we want to commit ourselves to early in the game, so that when we do start drafting, we're not just all over the place. So this is the big boom theory. Oh, now I can write it out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is the big boom theory. And this segment is world of the play. Oh yeah. Big boom. Jam boom boom. I'm out. Y'all take care.